This is Michael Gervais with Michelangelos Services. It is October 3rd, 2025. We are at 5416 Jillson Street, Jillson Street in Commerce, California, performing a waistline and sewer line inspection through a 4-inch ABS plastic cleanout. We've got a rubber piece down in here that is for the plug. It is larger than what it appears here. We do have a 4-inch ABS plastic line that was installed. We've got a lot of water running through it right now, which we'll see when we put our camera down in here. We're going to begin our inspection. We're running out toward the back alley where the lateral is. The city lateral is in the alleyway from what we understand, and that is the responsibility of the owner of the building. Okay, we inserted our camera, and they have put in a new ABS plastic line. There is saw cutting all the way from the back part of the building inside, where the roll-up doors are, next to an area or a floor sink. Excuse me. We're going to continue pushing out now. Got a little flat spot right here in the line. See, as I go in, I'm going to go underwater a little bit, and the water is not moving. So we do have a flat spot here. You have to keep in mind that the camera head is only an inch in diameter, but we are completely underwater right here. So we do have a flat spot. There's a little bit of debris right there, which you can get some buildup with the debris because there is that belly in the line. A lot of times people will put a sewer line in, and the piping has a natural bow to it, and you have to put the bow upward so it will settle, and a lot of people put the bow downward, and then it gets worse, and then you get these flat spots. And that line is quite deep, so really shouldn't have bellies. We have another one right here. We're out 28 feet. That's not terrible. We're only probably about 3 feet, and then we come out of that belly. More than likely this will all wash through, especially being ABS plastic piping. There's not much you can do with it now except dig it up and regrade it, but the likelihood of having an issue is very, very slim. Pushing in. Now we're coming, made a couple slight offsets. And I believe right here is where we have a clean out that was branched off to the side. That's a fitting. And now we're going to transition to what looks like cast iron pipe and fittings. We're underwater right there at the transition. So we've got another flat spot or a belly. Cast iron is pretty rough. More than likely that's original cast iron. Continue to run in. Then it appears that it transitions right here to vitreous clay. It's kind of hard to tell, but I can tell by the face of the pipe on top, and there's a little bit of orange, and it gets smooth. That's a pretty large offset. We're going to mark this after, but that's a pretty large offset. I can see the entire face of the pipe on top, all the way from about the 1 o'clock area down to about the 7 o'clock area. And there's a little bit of cracking down on the side at about the 7, 8 o'clock area, but that could be just in the buildup in the cast iron. That cast iron section should have been replaced when they put this line in. They should have gone out further, at least to the clay, but we'll see what the clay looks like as well. So we've got that offset. We've got another offset right there where we can see the majority of the pipe. We're in a turn, so it's kind of hard to see. But down by the 6 or 7 o'clock area, it begins where it's offset. There's also a gap. There's a separation right there. I believe that might be saddle or just a turn. We'll find out here in a minute. Making a turn. I believe that was just a turn. And that might be increasing from the 4-inch to the 6-inch is what it looks like. Now we're running out toward the alleyway. It appears that we have a crack in the pipe at about the 1 o'clock area and comes down to about, well, it goes all the way around. It's kind of hard to see on the left-hand side, but that crack is really pronounced down to about the 5 o'clock area, and then you have some debris, and then it picks up at about the 6 o'clock area and starts to come back around, and probably goes all the way around the pipe from what I can see. When I get in closer, you can see it all the way up to about the 11 o'clock area. Got a pretty good crack in the pipe there. We're going to make sure that this is the lateral to the building and not city. We'll be able to tell here pretty soon. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. The next joint appears to be broken. And I'm going to locate this after, but the face of that pipe is broken from what I can see, or it could be the concrete. Difficult to tell 100%, but there's a large gap. Yeah, it's all the way from approximately the 12 o'clock area down to about the 4 o'clock area. You can see that gap and that shift in it. I think that was the concrete that held the joint together. We've got a very large separation right here. Let's see if I can get over this. Yep, and that's city. So now we're dropping into the city sewer. So that is the saddle area. So there's a problem in the saddle area as well. What we're going to do is we're going to pause here for one moment and we're going to go locate this area. Okay, we've located this area out in the alleyway. We're at 11 foot 8 inches deep, and this is right in the concrete swale area. We did mark this area with a white dot of paint. And as I said, when we pull back, this is your saddle, and that's where we have a very, very large gap, separation, and you can see the concrete, or maybe even part of the pipe. It's difficult to tell. I believe it's concrete that was packed around the piping, but that's just a very large gap, and you can actually see some of the water on the right hand side. It appears that it's going in between the pipe, and that will end up going into the ground and erode the soil, and that will cause an issue in time, settling and other problems in that area. That has to be addressed. And we've got the other cracks in the piping. That joint appeared to be in fair and maintainable condition, a little bit of an offset, but not terrible. And then we have this large crack all the way around. And a lot of times that's from settling, could be from trucks going up and down the alleyway and the weight and the vibration and bouncing, but that's broken all the way around. That has to be fixed, or in time, that will break and settle. That's coming all the way back to the face of the joint, as we can see now at about the 1 o'clock area is where it starts, right at the joint. So that's got to be replaced. Pull back to the next joint. From what we can see, that appears to be in fair and maintainable condition right there at that joint. Making a turn, coming back, and then we got a huge gap right here, especially on the left-hand side. That's probably about a 2-inch gap. That looks like it's just barely in the fitting still. You have a hub and a spigot, a round piece of pipe going into a bell, and looks like that piping is just barely hanging into the bell right now. So that's got to be addressed and repaired or replaced. It appears that all of it needs to be replaced. There's a very large offset right here. I can see the entire face of the pipe. That thing shifted. Luckily it shifted downward instead of upward, where it would be holding back paper and waste. But that's got to be fixed. Then we transition right there to the cast iron pipe and fittings, which are very, very rough. A lot of debris and scaling, and then we go underwater right there at the connection. Then we transition back to the ABS plastic. We're going to try and locate this area real quick. Just see where we're at. We should be right inside the building. So we're going to pause for another moment. Okay, we located this area. We are about 18 inches inside the block foundation wall of the building. We're inside the building now. Now we're coming back, and we are in ABS plastic. We have a jog. Right there is the suite going over to the clean out that they installed, right by that back wall toward the alleyway. Continue pulling back. The ABS plastic appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. You don't see any issues, except that, you know, we have some debris here, and then we have a belly as we're coming back a little bit that will hold water, and it'll stop that debris from flowing. As you can see, there's some debris on the sides of the pipe. Going out, you see more of it than you do coming back. See standing water. We had some water running at the time, and you can see where it's dark right here, where we will get water standing, and the water's not moving. But again, it's not terrible. Because of the size of the camera, it appears to be worse sometimes. I'm going to continue pulling back. We had a larger belly, so that water is just standing. It's not flowing like it should. You got some of it moving a little bit, and some standing. Now we hit the large belly. We hit the large belly right here, and you can see we got a lot of paper build up right there, because it will hit the water, slow it down, and then once it comes out of the water, then it's just going to sit. Now we're pulling back, and we're pulling up and out of our waistline clean out, our 4-inch ABS plastic waistline clean out inside the building. We have our 4-inch ABS plastic clean out here. There's a door on that side. That is the wall where the sewer line comes out of, and you can see where there was a saw cut all the way to that back wall. And we have a saw cut going back to this area to that wall. And that will conclude our waistline and sewer line video inspection. Thank you.